Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site, and today we're here with Dr. Paul Yeske. He is a veterinarian with Swine Vet Center based in Minnesota in the United States. Thanks for being with us today, Paul.
Well, it's my pleasure to be with you.
Thanks so much. And we're here today. It says we're at the University of Minnesota, but we're actually in St. Paul at the Leman Swine Conference. And we're actually at the pre-conference, but you'll be speaking on Monday at the actual conference as part of the conference agenda. Tell me a little bit about your talk.
Yeah, I'm speaking with Dr. Kim Vanderwall from the University of Minnesota, and we're talking about the new PRRS 2 nomenclature system. She's going to talk a little bit about what it is and how it was put together, and I'm going to talk about how we can use it in the field.
Excellent. And so tell me a little bit of detail about what it was like before, I guess, and why the need for the change.
Sure. Traditionally, we had the RFLP system. It was developed early on in PRRS as we started to understand about PRRS, and wasn't necessarily designed to differentiate viruses, but it was a way that gave you a rough differentiation, and probably didn't have the level of specificity that we need today. Yeah. The sequences always gave us the best answer, and still do when you compare two viruses, is to compare the two sequences. What the RFLP was gave people kind of a name to call a virus, like you might have heard of the 144. Right. And but there's multiple 144s. They're not all the same. And so the AASV put together a working group and said we need to have a better classification system that's more repeatable and more reliable, so that if I talk about a virus, you can understand exactly what virus I'm talking about. And so the working group got together, and Kim led that working group from the technical side of going back and looking at a lot of data, a lot of sequence data from the OR5, which we have a huge database of that information. And she went back and looked at that and said, what's a better way of doing it? And came up with the lineage and variant classification. And it appears to be doing a very nice job of being able to identify viruses, and they're repeatable and they're similar, and does a much better job of grouping them, allowing producers to give a name to the virus, so to speak, like the L1C5. Mm-hmm. So it's a line 1, variant C, and 0.5. And so that's the classification of that particular strain. Right. And it allows you to speak with someone else and say, that's what I've got, and they probably will have similar experiences, or at least similar comparison.
Is this only for PRRS, Paul, or is this will this be used for any other major viruses or diseases?
This is designed for PRRS, particularly for PRRS. It's not dissimilar to what they do with influenza. Okay. But influenza would probably be a little further down the road, because there's been more work done with that, with the human side and everything. But this is designed for PRRS, and specifically for PRRS. And again, with the idea to have something that gets us into better, more reliable, and so that we can do to help answer those questions of, is this, if I'm in a herd closure and I'm trying to eliminate the virus, and I'm not testing negative when I'm supposed to, and those milestones aren't happening. Do I have a new virus, or is this the original virus? And so it gives you a quicker look at that to say, yeah, it's probably the same virus, or nope, there's a different virus in here. You better go dig deeper. Mm-hmm. Or if I'm in an area and looking at area epidemiology, it allows me to compare viruses within the area and say, well, that's similar, or no, it's not. And the other use that I can foresee for us is if we are using some of the killed vaccines and we're trying to use an off-the-shelf product, can we find something that matches fairly closely, and we can use that to compare. The other use will be, and hopefully we don't get to see that, is if we get a new emerging strain, hopefully that'll show up and be will show up as a different lineage, and we'll be able to identify those new emerging strains maybe a little faster.
Very good. And will it look different to a producer or a veterinarian who's getting information, I guess, back from a diagnostic lab, Paul?
Yeah. Well, they've started to report it out with a new nomenclature system, particularly at the University of Minnesota. I think some of the labs are doing a combination where they do the RFLP and the lineage for a while as a transition until people switch over. Again, there's still some of that confusion even though you have both naming systems. But there will be some transition here as as we try and teach some of the old dogs like me new tricks.
Very good. So bottom line, what will this really mean, I guess, for veterinarians, number one, and number two, for producers?
Yeah, hopefully it means better communication. We can speak more clearly about the viruses that we're dealing with. So it should help with epidemiology. If you're in a herd closure and you're concerned you have a new virus, hopefully helps make that a little easier and a little quicker. And if we're looking for those new emerging strains, hopefully will help us know that's coming too. And just over time, it's like everything with PRRS will probably evolve. And likely will change over time as well, but for now it appears that the system is working reliably, working well, and we'll just have to wait for the evolution to happen.
Very good, and it's kind of just it gives you more confidence, in other words, and making sure that you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, it's designed to be kind of like a shorthand for the sequence, and a more reliable shorthand than what we'd had with the RFLP system.
Very good. Well, hey, Paul, thank you so much for all the information today.
My pleasure to be here.
This is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site.